So ready to go then with the first game on finals day. England against France, a rerun of the Group A clash which saw England thump the French by 7-0. Team news this time around, a couple of changes from England's semi-final defeat on penalties to Spain. Dylan Malpass starts in goal ahead of Dan James. Dan English, the number 5 for England, who is joint captain with number 6, Robin Williams, of course, suffered heartbreak higher than anybody else in that match against France, scoring the own goal 12 seconds from time and missing one of the 3 spot kicks England had in the shootout afterwards.
And for France, they're in this third place playoff game after being beaten 7-0 by England. It's quite a journey they've been on. Martin Barron, their main goal threat, and captain number 6, David Lebert as well, number 8. Jerome Pennisson gets a starting berth. He's in that goal of the tournament list. And then on the bench, you've got the experience of Awanji and also further down, Mugado. So England with that 7-0 win in the group stages in Group A. And you can see England absolutely demolished Romania, France, Italy and Germany. And then 2-2 with Spain and then defeated on penalties for France. Well, up and down really. Beating the host nation 2-1 in the opening game. And then losing to England, drawing with Romania, who finished 9th in his competition. And then a good win against Italy. And these are the officials, Dustin Wunman and also Niels Haput, both of Germany, and on the bench will be Lucas Scott Nicky and also Alexandros Karampis. So the 2 sets of players shake hands, and really England will start as overwhelming favourites based on that 7-0 win. But to be honest, Jonathan, it's how both sides get over the heartbreak of losing those semi-finals in different style, because France, well, they played for pretty much half of the entire semi-final with 5 team fouls against their name and then conceding 8-metre penalties against the might of Russia, then losing on a penalty shootout through a little bit of controversy with the goalkeeper being declared off his line, and they had to retake a penalty which then they scored Russia to get them through to the final. And of course England with that own goal heartbreak and then losing on penalties. So how do they get over that? How have they recovered? But England do start as favourites. Let's listen into the toss.
Red. Okay, let's see. It's black. So England has the choice. You want to stay? Okay.
What side of the half we like it?
Okay.
This side. Yeah.
Okay, so you stay. So you stay. France has the ball. Good match.
So England will stay on their side of the field and France will kick off. So England in all whites against France in royal blue shirt, shorts and dark blue socks. England shooting from left to right. Dylan Malpass in goal. He was not in the side in that semi-final. It was Dan James. He's on the bench. Dylan Malpass has played in 1 game. It was the dead rubber really for England's case anyway against the host nation Germany when England won 3-0, and Dylan Malpass had a very good game indeed. Both sides on the far side from our commentary position. If you're watching this live stream around the world, then hello, welcome to Berlin Finals Day. This is for 3rd place in the Euro 2017 Blind Football European Championships. And if you want to get in contact, follow us on Twitter at Euro 2017 Berlin. Use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Any questions on the sport of blind football, then please send them through to us and we'll do our best to answer them as soon as we can. After this game at 7:30 local time, it will be the final between Spain and Russia. There's the 2 keepers, Dylan Malpass for England and Samir Gassama of France. And goalkeepers act more than a normal goalkeeper in, say, 11-a-side football. They would act as a guide as well. And the guide for their defence, telling them exactly what to do, where to go, where's the ball. The ball itself, a size 4 football with 6 sound devices inside that make a noise like a baby's rattle with the ball bearings in a sphere. And we'll go through the rules as we go through these early stages. So once again, this is for 3rd place. England were at this stage 2 years ago in Hereford, losing on penalties to Spain and finishing 4th. And France, well, they've won this championship on many occasions, and It's a real upturn in form after losing 7-0 to England, drawing 0-0 against Romania, and then performed heroics really to get to penalties against Russia, very nearly beating them in that final. So it's England versus France for third place. Following this game will be an epic encounter for the championship between Russia, runners-up 2 years ago, and the very talented Spanish side. It's going to be France from right to left from opposition, high up in the main stand, where the camera is located. If you're watching the live stream, opposite the officials' dugout, and it's Baron, the French captain, their main goal threat really, to get us underway, and he passes the ball to the right, comes off the kickboard that's on either side of the field, gets the ball back as well inside the centre circle, and just goes back into his own half and now starts a dribble, but he runs straight into Coleman, and Coleman does well to get the ball, and he's just being pushed in the back, goes to ground, nothing given, still got the ball in the centre circle, turns away from Baron, Riviere comes across, and Coleman just trying to get the ball back under control, just inside French territory on the left. Now switches over towards Dan English on the right. Dan English is going to have to try and retrieve this from Baron, who intercepted the pass up to the broken line. Now back to the halfway on the left for France. Under no real pressure from England at the moment. It's a good crossfield ball over to the right in front of the England coaches, trying to find his countrymates Arizeki wearing 10. He can't stop it from running out of play. And it's the first goal kick and touch of the ball for Dylan Malpass.
So Malpass in his black shirt with long purple sleeves, black shorts and black socks will gently roll the ball out to the left side of his area, and Kerin Seal, the furthest man back for England, everyone else inside the France half, and he just plonks it down the middle with a bit of a diagonal ball on it there towards the far corner. It goes well out of play though, and out it goes for a French ball. Roya bowls the ball out to the right hand side over the halfway line. It is missed by Arizeki and Williams and goes out of play for an England ball. And Malpass will throw it just to the right of his area, and Seal coming up towards the halfway line, plays it left-footed towards the left-hand side. Robin Williams has possession, faced up against Arizeki here on that far side. Arizeki just trying to shepherd the wall away from Williams, right in that corner on the far side. Arizeki has to be careful not to concede a corner here, and he plays it off his own man Pennison, and out indeed for an England corner. Of course, going into this game, both sides have already qualified for the World Cup in Madrid next year, and it will be interesting to find out what the respective hangovers will be, if there are any, from those semi-final penalty defeats for both teams. Corner for England on the far side of the left, then Coleman stood behind Williams. Williams will dribble it in towards the front post, runs into Labert, who falls to the ground, but manages to get the ball just to his teammate Arizeki, and Arizeki will just clear his lines towards the halfway line, deflects off the inside of the left foot of Williams, so Coleman will be the one to retreat and win it back, but runs into Williams midway inside his own half before Coleman plays it down the right channel, and now finds Dan English close to the byline. He's wearing the captain's armband today, dribbles into the area, good run from him, but it's his opposition captain Martin Baron that comes away with possession over the halfway line, just left of centre. English manages to retrieve the ball just on halfway, and then he's forced to the near side kickboard with Baron in his back, and also along there as well is David Labert as well. English plays the ball left-footed towards the far side of the area. Arizeki is back to comfortably win possession. He's got a lot of time on the ball here, and France can just simply pass their way out from the back, but Arizeki dwelled on it a long time there. Coleman came onto the scene to intercept possession, and now Coleman just outside the area tries to run down the right side of the box, goes down. A couple of French players went down with him, and I think that was just an innocuous collision there, and it will be a France restart from the back with Royer in his green shirt, white shorts and white socks. Yeah,
long throw down by Royer up to halfway, well intercepted by Dan English on the halfway line. Just on the right for England. He's got plenty of French players all over his back, and he's a tall man, Dan English, who can handle that. Just uses a bit of his strength to push the ball down the line, and it runs out of play for a goalkeeping restart again for France. So in these early stages, just under 3 minutes gone, it's England 0, France 0 in this third place playoff. Long throw by Royer down the right for Arizeki. Controls on one knee on the England broken line. The broken lines, remember, signifying the 3/3 of the field. So you've got the attacking, midfield and defensive third. Baron on the left, inside the English third. Cuts inside, chance for a right-footed shot, but good tackle by Coleman, who brings it out himself, and he's tackled and goes to ground. It's going to be a free kick to England just inside their own half. Good play there by Coleman, not only intercepting the ball, stopping the shot originally by Baron, then bringing it out and being fouled. So the first foul of the match will go against the French for England inside the centre circle, just inside the English half. Referee comes to the far side and signifies to the officials bench, and that's the first team foul as well. So in the sun now, it's actually very warm here in Berlin. Perfect conditions really for blind football. Hardly a breath of wind. It's going to be Robin Williams to take this free kick. Dribbles over the halfway line, over towards the left. He's got a lot of pace and goes beyond the French defence and can't get a shot on goal. It's a corner because it came off a French defender's boot last, and Robin Williams with an air kick actually on that left-hand side of the D, but really showed off his pace there. He left a couple of players in his wake just through sheer pace rather than any skill needed. He's a very skillful player, but with pace like that, he didn't need to use the abundance of talent that he has with the ball at his feet. Here he goes once again, back to the halfway line nearly. Now he's arching his run around towards the D, runs straight into Baron. He's still got the ball, but he's now muscled off it by 3 French defenders, and they just knock it downfield. There's no French player inside the English half at all, so Dylan Malpass just has to tell his defenders, just leave the ball, and it's going to run out, and it will be a goal kick, and I can start this move once again. He's got Dan English just outside of his D, rolls the ball to Dan English. There's no French player inside the English half, so he's got a simple task of bringing it up to possibly halfway. He's the only player actually inside the half. Side-footed ball down the right, slightly too much on that for Karen Seal to keep in, and that goes out for another goal kick, this time for France. Quite bitter at the moment in this game. It's no one's really got a foot on the ball. That runs straight out for a corner to France. Long throw downfield, and it just caught the boot of Karen Seal, and it will be a corner to France. At the moment, yeah, quite scrappy. No one really pressing home any advantage. A few sparks of life from the England side, but at the moment I think it's fair to say an expected quiet first few minutes after the events of a couple of days ago for both sides. If you just joined us, both sides losing on penalties in the semi-finals, both drawing 2-2 actually, and there was plenty of incident in both. Well worth checking out. If you're watching these live streams, you can go back and see those games. Highly recommended. Plenty of drama. And there's plenty of drama to come in this game and the final later on today. Corner taken from the left. Arizeki towards the centre of the D. Can't get a shot again. Well defended by 4 players for England, but they can't bring it out of their own third. It's with Baron on the left. He's got his one hand on the kickboard, trying to push Coleman out the way, and Baron at the moment is quite successful. Comes across to a more central position. Now an England boot just prods it over halfway, and France can build from deep.
And Labard is the joint furthest man back alongside Pennison, just right to centre, plays the ball gently past Coleman, then runs onto his own pass there, Labard, in front of Williams. Labard still running away with the ball, in front of Williams, gets to the left side of the area, tries to keep the ball from going out of play, can't however, and it will go out for an England ball. Of course, England scored in this fixture in the group stages after just 30 seconds. We've played 5 minutes now. Not really the swiftest of starts from the 3 lines. Williams plays the ball right-footed towards the near side, bounces over the kickboard on halfway, and now Seal. He's got Baron in his back. Seal plays the ball left-footed towards the far side. Arizeki manages to win the ball on the right corner of his own centre circle, then bombs forward down the right-hand side. As the furthest man up for France, and he goes into the kickboard on the far side and almost flips over it. That would have been very dangerous indeed had he gone into the England bench. Roy Turnham there managed to duck out of the way. Meanwhile, at the other end, it's Williams running down the left channel. Labar is back for France and lets the ball go out for a France ball. But the biggest talking point of this game was the Superman pose from Areski there as he went into the kickboard and was just horizontally laid forward on the far side. Roya rolls the ball out to the left-hand side, and Baron coming up to halfway. On the left-hand side, plays a right-footed ball towards the far side, blocked by Williams, though, on that far channel. Now bombs down just left of centre, coming towards the edge of the area. Real chance for Williams, just missed his kick, and it goes out of play for a France ball. Best chance of the game, falling for England and Robin Williams.
Yeah, just as he was about to let fly, he caught the ball with his left foot, his standing foot. That pushed it further than he thought, and then when he swung with his right, he couldn't get a good purchase on the ball, and it just runs away out for a goal kick. It's France with the ball on the halfway line. Baron just switches from the left over to the right once again. It's a tactic the French like to employ. Arizecki's got it on the broken line, drifts inside, tries to turn away from Williams, who gets a foot on the ball, and now it's with Coleman, who can bring it out of the England defence, and he's got French on the run at the moment because he goes down the right, and by the kickboard, he's just being pushed out wide by Labert, who's done well to get back, but Coleman can shoot from an angle into the goalkeeper's hands. Good shot from a very acute angle on the right. Good guiding as well from the England guy behind the goal. Must have given him perfect instructions to get a shot on target. This time it's Baron down the left, but Keren Seal comes across, concedes a corner, but also doesn't concede any chances for Baron to take a shot at goal. It was a good covering by Keren Seal. The game's just starting to open up slightly at either end. And there's a substitution for England. Coming on is Roy Turnham. We've got a replay on the live stream. And another Superman moment by running into the kickboard. Coming on is Roy Turnham, and off goes number 6, Robin Williams. So Roy Turnham onto the field. No ill effects. Hurting his hand actually in a previous match, and the England number 9, who's caught the attention of many people on the live streams back home, is on the field. He's got the ball inside his own D. Now here he goes down the left, over the broken line, over the halfway line. There's only one man back so far for France, and Labert does well, just gets his right heel in the way, and Turnham has to come to the near right side, and he does very well, first of all, to survive a push in the back. The second push is too much, and it's going to be a free kick to England, and it's going to be a foul against Labert, who just puts his thumb up towards Roy Turnham as if to say, you know, sorry about that, I think I fouled you twice there. It was a deliberate arm into the back of the England number 9, and he did very well to ride the first one, but the second one the referee blew up. Again, a good officiating as well. Gave the chance for Turnham to maybe keep the hold of the ball, but again, it's a physical game. You're allowed to make a challenge, but good officiating, I'll put that down as. Also good sportsmanship from Labert. Turnham turns round inside the centre circle, now drives towards goal, and shot deflected into the arms of the goalkeeper. But good skill and pace so far shown by the England number 9. Roll out by Royer down the right, finds the feet of Coleman. That wasn't his intended target, but Arizecki does well, pushes Coleman out the way, can't win the ball back off Keren Seal. On the ground is Arizecki. In fact, both him and Seal are struggling to keep their feet at the moment. Lovely back heel by Arizecki across the broken line towards Baron. Baron operates on the left, so he knows he's there. Being pushed out by Roy Turnham. Now he comes back down the left-hand side, and that runs out of play for a goal kick. So again, good defending by Turnham and also by Seal, but Arizecki with a lovely back heel on the right, causing the England defence a few problems. Malpass rolls the ball outside of his D to the right, finds English. English comes up to the broken line, plays it down the right kickboard for Turnham. Turnham controls on the edge of the D on the right. Baron's on his back. Turnham's going towards the corner, and Baron's much the bigger individual, gets his body between Turnham and the ball, but Turnham fights back. Lovely back heel to himself actually towards the broken line. Tries to switch it to the left, and Coleman, he's just holding on to his left ankle, Turnham, at the moment. Going to ground is Coleman, and that's another foul. A push in the back this time by Arizecki. It's on the halfway line, so it's going to be a free kick to England, and this is yet another foul for France. This was the problem in their semi-final. They played for pretty much half of the entire game with 5 team fouls. And if you're new to blind football, you're allowed 5 team fouls. Any more than that, it will be an 8-metre penalty kick, and that's the third so far for France, and we've only got 8 minutes, already had 8 minutes of this first half. So again, a little bit of ill discipline. They're only needling fouls, just a little push on the back here and there, but they all count. Free kick to England.
So it's Seal coming in from the left-hand side, plays it diagonally low towards the back post, just went past Turnham there and rolls out for a France ball. And Royer bowls it down the centre towards the other end, and Arizecki just got his foot out there, and it went all the way through towards Malpass. Malpass plays it to the left-hand side, and Seal, right-footed ball down the line for Turnham. Turnham jumps on possession, tries to arc his run round towards the central position, 8 metres out. Just got 3 French players in front of him. He goes to the right side of the area, gets the shot away. It's well blocked, comes out towards the right-hand side again. Baron trying to battle with Turnham here, and then Labert manages to clear it over the halfway line. English on the right-hand side. runs over the halfway line. English still bustling his run, just like he did against France earlier on in the group stages. Stops on the ball on the broken line, then goes back out to the right, near the byline here. France with everyone back on their own area. English goes on the right-hand side of the area, tries to get a shot away on the angle, completely misses the ball, and it goes out for a French throw from the goalkeeper, Royer, who gently rolls it out to the right-hand side. Arezki tries to get out of his defensive zone, but Brandon Coleman's on the scene on the left-hand side. Coleman, as Arezki in his back, goes over the halfway line. Coleman is facing his own goal here and he's been forced all the way back to his own area, and it goes to Seal. Seal just look away and want to clear it out. Of course, England don't want to make the same sort of mistakes they did against Spain by playing it back to the goalkeeper. Goes out to the right and Turnham. Left-footed ball coming in from the right. Good ball to the left now. And Coleman just inside the attacking zone. It's Riviere in his back, and Riviere runs over the halfway line. Right-hand side still going. Good tackle coming in from English. Goes out to the far side, and Arezki tries to play the ball in field, and Seal, who's got it on the edge of his own defensive zone here. Seal spinning around in circles before playing it left-footed towards the left, and Coleman just short of the halfway line. Plays a diagonal ball low towards the near side, the right, and Turnham. He's got Barron in his back. Turnham is being held up here with his back to goal against the near side kick ball, so lays it back for Seal, got the shout, then plays a low diagonal ball towards the far side, the left, and Coleman, he can't control it, neither can Arezki though, as he tries to rescue the situation. Comes off him last and will be an England corner on the far side, the left, and Coleman has gone across to take, as has Turnham as well. France have all 4 blue shirts inside their own penalty area, and Seal is just lurking at the back stick now. So will he give Turnham a bit of a shout here, or will Turnham go alone? Turnham, left side of the area, looks to arc round, manages to get a fortuitous deflection in his path as well, then gets the shot away and deflects through to Royer, who will throw it from the back.
Royer down the left towards Barron. Barron can't intercept that, and it runs straight through to Keren Sale, who's now going to start a mazy run. This time he's going to get to halfway, stop, go to the right, stops, goes to the left, and then plays it diagonally across towards Coleman, but it's intercepted by Arezki for France. On halfway, Coleman intercepts, goes back inside his own half, central position, now towards the right, stops in the centre circle, plays a lovely ball down the left off the kickboard for Turnham, who's only got one player in front of him, goes to ground, fair tackle. He won the ball very cleanly there, did Labert, and it's played out of defence down the left for France. Didn't pick out a French player, it's just get rid of the ball time for the French number 8. Here goes English over the halfway line. Plenty of pace down the left towards the edge of the D, runs straight into Arezki of France, and that runs out of play for a French goal kick, and the referee is just going to halt things because the big French number 10, who was knocked over by Dan English on that run, is slowly getting to his feet. And he's got to his feet, he's going to be okay. 1 or 2 players actually just feeling the effects actually. Watching currently Labert, who's on all 4s and just trying to catch his breath. It is a muggy day, very warm and muggy here in Berlin. But looks like everyone is okay, and it's going to be Royer, the goalkeeper for France, to start another move. Long underarm throw down the left, straight to Coleman though, and Coleman has only got a couple of players in front of him. Now Barron gets back, he's in the centre circle. Coleman struggles to get past Barron, who's fighting well. The French captain brings it over the halfway line, now past the broken line on the right. Plenty of players back for England, but Barron's in a central position, just inside the broken line, stops, drags it back with his right foot, shoots. Good save by Malpass, good handling as well. Watched it into his hands, it was going to maybe creep into the far right-hand corner along the floor, and he went down very early, did Malpass, and saved very cleanly into his hands and managed to keep possession, and then throws it down the left. Long ball forward to Coleman, can't control, and that runs out. It would have been a very good position for England if Coleman managed to control that, and didn't actually get anything on it, and it runs straight out. And the referee, I think the referee is just saying to the crowd actually to, can you just be quiet during the match? And there's plenty here in this stadium, which promises to be full for the final 7:30 Spain against Russia. 7:30 local time here in Berlin. Arezki on the far right for France. His shot goes wide. It's actually nearer to the corner than the post, and there's going to be a timeout called by England. So the 2 sets of players will go over to the far side from our position here in the main stand towards the dugouts and towards the officials' bench for a minute break and a bit of a discussion, Jonathan, of tactics maybe for the remainder of this first half, where there's a good 8 minutes left, quite a long time. And the game is not really bursting to life. There's been the odd flash here from Baron down the left for France, or maybe the odd run by Turnham and Coleman as well. But both goalkeepers haven't really been tested. There's been a shot from an angle for England by Coleman. Turnham's put pressure on the defence, and there's the save only seconds ago from Malpas, but it was comfortable. And at the moment, it's goalless, and struggling really to pick one side that's on top.
Yeah, it's felt like the pulse hasn't really got going yet in this match, that is for sure, at the moment. But one thing I have to say is that France are a lot better than what they were in the group stages, because they were well out of this game by this point in the Group A match between England and France. At the moment, goalless. France, of course, have conceded 3 team fouls, so they've got to be careful. Despite the fact they're under no real trouble at the moment, they've got to be careful to not make sure those X's mount up. So Malpas at the back for England then. Assesses his options.
Once again, use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Send us any questions that you have to do with blind football. At Euro 2017 Berlin's the Twitter handle. So 2 halves of 20, and you'll notice already that the clock does stop every time the ball goes out of play, or maybe a decision's being made by the officials. So the 20-minute halves can last an awful lot longer, and the goals actually have been widened and heightened before this championships. 66 centimetres wider, 33 higher. Long throw downfield by Malpas, goes straight out. Turnham couldn't control the ball. Roy Turnham back on the field. Long throw by Royer down the left, try and find Baron. Baron on halfway, controls, go back inside his own half again. Decides to switch back, and lovely drag back of the ball, trying to avoid English. He decides again to try and switch, but realised that Roy Turnham was standing right in front of him. It goes into the French half on the left, and Turnham and Coleman both trying to fight over the ball. Coleman goes to ground under pressure from Labert. Nothing given. Could have been a free kick either way. Labert's on the edge of the D. Shot. What a save by Malpas. Tips it around the right-hand post, and, well, thought that was going to end up in the back of the net. It was a shot, a snapshot from the right of the D, and Malpas flung himself to his right, got a hand on it, and tipped it around the post for a corner. Fantastic effort by Labert. Let fly from the edge of the D, and a wonderful reaction save by Malpas. And that goes out for a corner to France on the left. Baron once again, this time Arski comes across. Baron's going to take it, goes straight into the D from that corner, and it's going to be Turnham to try and run it out of the England defence. He does so past the broken line, comes up towards Labert. He has to go back and retrieve the ball. Turnham plays it down the left. Coleman's way further down the field, nearer the D than the halfway line, so Coleman has to come back and try and take the ball off Arski, and he does. And although the big number 10 for France is not going to leave Coleman alone, it's just trapped on the kickboard on the left. Coleman does well to wriggle away from his opponent, and he's inside the centre circle. There's no one further forward than Coleman. Now Turnham makes a run down the right, and Coleman tries to chip it down the right to find Turnham, and does so. If Roy Turnham can get this ball under control, he can then turn towards the centre, which he does. There's only Labert in front of him, goes past him, glorious chance, and into the back of the net for Roy Turnham. A side-footed finish into the bottom left-hand corner after a wonderful ball down the right by Coleman. It was controlled by Turnham, went along the broken line into the D, side-footed finish. It's Turnham once again for England, who lead France by 1-0.
Well, Pete, I think our goal of the tournament competition was done a bit too prematurely. That certainly would have been a contender from Roy Turnham. He was forced right up to the kickboard on the near side, managed to dribble away from a couple of blue shirts. Nutmeg Labert, who was the last one to beat, before taking a lovely shot away under Julien Royer from close range and getting England off the mark in this match. It took a lot longer than it did in the group stages, but England are in front, leading by 1-0. So France will have the restart, kicking from right to left in all blue. Baron with hands on hips with his right foot on the ball. Areshki's got his foot on the ball as well. I'm not too sure who's going to receive this pass. It will be Areshki, just right of centre, plays it left now, and Baron faced up by English as he gets towards the left side of the area. Forced to the kickboard as English just jockeys him and uses his physical presence to try and bustle the ball back. Goes down the line, and coming across is Pennison, left-footed ball down the line, goes to the feet of Baron. Coming inside from the left flank, going across the centre circle before stopping it in a central position and playing it out to left in Labar, who's made his run there. English now has Labar to contend with. He's keeping him well alongside the kickboard at the moment, midway inside the England half on the near side, the left. Labar then plays it back towards the halfway line, right-hand side of Rezki. Good touch away from the oncoming Turnham, before going on the outside of Coleman now. It's a really good run from Rezki, who then gets caught with the foot under his ball for a moment, spins around a bit, loses possession, and now the ball goes down the other end. Labar manages to stop the ball well at pace, and then comes down the centre, being jockeyed by Seal at the moment. He plays it to the left and Baron, and Seal's come across to this near side to try and tackle Baron. Baron goes down under the challenge of Seal, and Seal just sort of waves his hand in the way, sort of saying, oh dear. And that will be a free kick for France. I think Seal thought he had a case there, but I don't think he did, Pete.
No, he caught the heel of the French midfielder, who was going back to the halfway line from inside the England half. So he was going actually away from the England goal, and he just caught his heel and brought him down. A simple trip and a deserved foul and free kick to France. It's the first England team foul of this half. France, actually, they have 3, and they've had 3 for an awful long time. 14 minutes and 17 seconds have gone, so just over 5 minutes left in this first half. England leading by that 1-0 in this third-place playoff game against France. And remember, they played each other in the group stages, and England won that by 7-0. Baron to take this free kick. It goes down the left into the final third, goes to ground, nothing given. Ball runs through to Malpas. Malpas is going to underarm this. Just inside it lands the England half. Finds Turnham on the right, but he's quickly tackled by Laber, who brings it up over halfway on the French left. Laber switches to the centre, now goes back down the left over the broken line. He's got English for company. Laber using the kickboard well. He might pass this back towards Pennison. He does so. And Pennison's got English with him, and there's a good 6 to 8 inches in height difference between those two. Switched over to the right by Pennison. Just really tried to get rid of the ball, and he's inadvertently played to Coleman. He loses out to Arski on the right. He goes beyond Turnham, past the broken line, but the England number 9 does well. Retrieves the ball for England, goes back inside his own third, now goes again down the left, beats the number 10 and Laber. He's got Pennison in front of him. There he goes Turnham once again, just can't get a shot. It just comes off his left boot towards the goalkeeper. He never really had the ball under control there, Roy Turnham. It was just too far in front of him at all times, but it was his pace that got him past the French defence. He's going to have to chase this down the right. In fact, he doesn't. He waits on halfway because the ball's going to run out of play. It might take a few seconds, but Roy is telling his defence, just leave that. There's too much in it, and even the England number 9 is going to get substituted. Can't catch that. Off comes Turnham, on comes Robin Williams. So a really good round of applause for Roy Turnham by every single stand here. Plenty of people from all sorts of nations cheering on Roy Turnham there after scoring that goal. One of the biggest ovations that we've had in these championships. Long throw by the goalkeeper for France. Downfield finds Arski in the D, and he can't get a shot off because quickly Karen Seal came across, who just knocks it down the left.
And Labar will give chase to the ball that's rolling towards his own byline at the moment. Gets the shout from his goalkeeper to leave it completely now to play it goes. Royer balls it towards the left-hand side, over halfway. Baron, he has the ball inadvertently going under his foot there. He fails to control. And at the moment, we're having a bit of a rally between the two goalkeepers because Dylan Malpas has possession. Gentle roll out from him towards English, just right of centre outside of his penalty area, coming towards the broken line. He plays a chip ball towards the left-hand side, a good diagonal one as well, as Coleman retrieves the ball from the kick ball. Back to goal at the moment. France with everyone back inside their defensive zone, so Coleman has to retreat to the broken line, then gets into a central position, trying to wriggle his way past Labar, who's a very physical player. The ball goes stationary for a moment, so Coleman lost track of the ball, then manages to get it back again, goes down the right. Another good tackle from a combination of Baron and Labar, gets the ball towards halfway, and now Williams forced into his own half by Baron as he just keeps it alongside the far kickboard before turning infield and playing a good ball to Seal. Seal gets it under control at the second attempt, coming towards the halfway line, laterally coming inside to the centre spot. He falls on the ball there. Baron was the closest one to him, but Seal gets past him and the oncoming Laber as well. Seal the furthest man forward at the moment for England. Sort of caught in a few minds as he gets into the centre circle. He's listing out for the options, plays it to the right now, and a slightly forward pass for Williams. On the broken line, plays the ball from right to left, and it is picked up by Rezki ahead of Seal, and then the two clashed heads. probably the two of the biggest players on the pitch there, coming head to head, and Seal is furious with the decision from the referee to give the free kick against him, and the referee may just have a word here with Kevin Seal. And Seal may be apologising now, but no volley was called. Seal's blindfold actually came off of his face momentarily, and the referee has a joke with him in the end, and all seems good.
Yeah, I think he was just slightly annoyed there, Kevin Seal. I think he thought there was going to be a foul around about a minute ago when he was sat on the ball inside the centre circle with Labert and also Baron kicking at him, but they were kicking the ball, and it's just that Kevin Seal was actually sat on the ball at the same time, so I don't think he saw the funny side of that. But a timeout's been called by France, so the two sets of players gives them a chance to go over, but it's nice to see Kevin Seal actually having a bit of a laugh and a joke in the end with the officials. And it's 2 England team fouls and 3 for France. So we have 3 minutes and 14 seconds to be precise of this first half remaining. England leading by 1-0. And once again, if you've got any questions on the sport of blind football, the sound of football is the hashtag to use, and we try and run through as many as we can. You're allowed 5 team fouls, any more than that, 8-metre penalty kicks. If the game is a draw, it'll go straight to penalties. 2 halves of 20 minutes. I mentioned the goals have been increased in size. Many of the quarter-finals, semi-final stages of big competitions like the Paralympics and also the World Championships and these European Championships in the last decade or so have been goalless encounters, and it's one of the reasons that they've increased the size of the goals, and it's certainly made plenty of goals here in this tournament, and a few absolute corkers which you can vote on if you go online through Facebook or YouTube. You can find the goal of the tournament competition. You've got until half-time of the final to vote. Now the goalkeepers, many questions actually, most common questions about the goalkeepers. Obviously the goalkeepers are fully sighted, and they act as a coach as well to the defenders in the final third, and they can't come out of that goalkeeping square. If they do and touch the ball, it's a penalty, and we've had plenty of those in this tournament, 1 or 2 controversial moments as well. But the game's going to get back underway with a French free kick on their own broken line, way out on the far right-hand side. The players, they've all got gauzes over their eyes, and they've also got tape as well to keep them on, and then you've got the blindfold on top, so everyone's on the same level. And it's an even game. It is even now. England are in front, but France have been in this, and they've tested the goalkeeper on a number of occasions. Kevin Seal on the edge of his D now has a mazy run up to halfway. Down the right he goes. He's going to stop and then drift to the centre, and as he does that he loses the ball and it runs through to the French defence, and under no pressure at all, Pedersen just back heels out of his own D, downfield over the halfway line, straight to the feet of Coleman. Too sure that the French coach is too happy with that, shrugging his shoulders and putting his arms out on the bench as if to say, what was that? England on the right, Kevin Seal doesn't control first time, but goes beyond Baron on halfway, hugging the right-hand kickboard, plays it over to the left, but a space for Coleman. And if he gets this under control, which he does, he runs straight into Arski, and there another clash of heads between Coleman and the French number 10. It's in the French third with Baron. He goes down the left, past Coleman, drifts inside. Now he's in the central position, inside the centre circle, tries a rainbow flick over the top of his head. He's got the ball on the edge of the D on the right. Can he get a shot off on goal? He goes past English. Now out comes Malpas. It hits the goalkeeper's legs and goes out for a corner. But what play by Baron, a rainbow flick with his Bashlashvili of Georgia's party piece. But the Frenchman nearly scored on the end of that, and I think if the goal of the tournament competition, we've got our final 8, but if that went in the back of the net, Jonathan, I think we might have to have made it 9.
I think it just shows you as well, Pete, that these players are relaxed here. Of course, there's something at stake with a bronze medal at the end of this, but these players are certainly relaxed and enjoying their football here. As Areski picks up the corner on the right-hand side, goes for a shot from a very ambitious angle indeed, and it easily drifts wide of Dylan Malpas's left-hand upright. So Malpas has the ball in hand, and he just gently rolls it out to the edge of his area, and English, who turns and has got Lebert coming over halfway to close him down. So English plays the ball down the left-hand side. He gets Williams in behind momentarily due to the bounce off the kickboard there going around Areski, but Williams can't control, and out it goes for a France ball. Royer rolls it low on the ground and pretty ferociously as well over halfway. Williams gets the head of Areski, and Williams comes over the halfway line. Good marching run from him, going from right to left, left-footed shot, very tame indeed on the edge of the area in the end. And Royer saves by going down to his right before just tossing the ball down the right-hand side over halfway, and the ball is won by English. English now has a go down the left channel. Lebert and Pedersen back. English slips on the edge of the box, completely his own doing that by falling on the ball. Lebert then comes across to try and pick up the loose pieces and wins a goal kick in the process. English not wanting to let that one up, but out of play it goes for once again Julian Royer's start. So he goes for the right-hand side, a bit more of a gentle throw this time. It finds Oreski. Oreski turns away from Williams. Heavy touch from Oreski, but that means that Seal can come across and momentarily win possession back. He has to go in for a second tackle in order to get away from Oreski. He's been very physical here, and I thought Oreski was hugging Seal and holding him back, and the English bench agreed as well. Oreski, right-hand side, gets towards the broken line, completely misses the ball as he swung for it there with the right foot, then tries to play it inside. Seal still blocking it and then coming away with it over halfway, but turned into the path of Lebert. Lebert facing the England goal, goes for a right-footed shot, very speculative indeed. He's gone down actually holding his left leg, Lebert, and he seems to me like a very unfit player, Pete. Lebert, every time he goes down or every time he gets a bit of contact coming his way, he seems to have come off worse off for something, and this time he's on his left ankle, and of course we hope it's nothing serious, but he always seems to be the centre of the action.
He's a combative midfielder, the number 8. He's had a number of really good and well-timed tackles in this game, and he gets to his feet and gets a round of applause. A really good player. Yeah, he gets in amongst things, gives away quite a few fouls as well, but he's that kind of midfielder who can go to the other end and score. Here he comes rushing towards English, who just launches it forward into the opposition D and out of play for another French goal kick with 35 seconds remaining of the first half. An underarm throw, and Arzaki will not keep that from getting out of play, and that will be Malpass now for England to try and do the same. This time he throws underarm to the halfway line. A jump, double-footed control by Robin Williams, goes back inside his own half, plays a side-footed 10-yard pass to the right, and Coleman goes down the right past the broken line, edge of the D. Coleman just overruns the ball, goes back, gets it again. Baron gets his body between Coleman and the ball and plays it out for France to the halfway line.
Oreski is battling away once again with Williams. Those two gladiators have met many a time on this pitch this afternoon. Williams then charges down the left channel of the France area, and that will be that for the first period. England leading by 1-0. Not as rampant at all as they were in the group stages, but nonetheless, Roy Turnham's brilliance still has come to the fore, just like it did throughout much of England's group campaign so far in these championships. A lovely mazy run from the right-hand side, got past a couple of French defenders, nutmeg Lebert, the last of them, before tucking it home nicely, one-on-one with Julian Royer underneath the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. David Lebert, meanwhile, has just gingerly got back to his feet, being led away by the French guide Manuel Magado. I doubt whether we will see him in the second half, purely due to the fact that he does seem to be limping quite badly as he leaves the field of play. Some decent saves as well from both goalkeepers. Dylan Malpass with a pick of the bunch. A very good strike coming from the right-hand side from France. Really maximised Dylan Malpass's credentials, but it means at the break here, due to Roy Turnham's goal in the 14th minute, that England lead in the bronze medal match by 1-0.
Thank you very much, Jonathan Bell. So England 1, France 0 at half-time here in the third place game. Now, as you can see, I've been joined by some strange objects and these trophies in front of me as well. We've got the Fair Play Trophy here. This signifies the Green Crossing Man, which, if you want to look up the story between East and West Germany, the Green Crossing Man is a very interesting story. That's for the Fair Play Award. We've also got this lovely porcelain bear. That's for the best player of the tournament. The top goal scorer receives a brand new ball. This is one of the beaten up ones that's been used here. And of course, the third place team gets this little beauty here, which is the third place trophy as well. And a few bragging rights. Peter Selby, let's take a look at these highlights of the first half, shall we?
Yeah, it's been a very tight first half. We mentioned on commentary, myself and Jonathan, and it took really a good 15 minutes for the game to spark into life. The occasional shot, a mazy dribble here and there. It took until the introduction of Roy Turnham to really change the tide for England, and he managed to get the goal that splits the two sides. Malpass has been called into action a number of times. I think that shot was going to go wide, but he made one fabulous save Here's the goal by Roy Turnham, got into the D, and a right-footed shot in off the post from again, a central position, which gives obviously a striker a lot more options.
Crazy that I'm going to say this next sentence, but the reliable players are doing the reliable things. Turnham scoring goals. Great to see Malpas getting another go in goal here today. In what, to some is a non-game. It's not a non-game. You still want to be the third best team in Europe. Both are through to the World Cup next year in Spain. Both have created chances and scored some great goals, of which we've got 8 beauties for you coming up next. This is the goal of the tournament competition.
Have certainly done a good deal of training coming into this one. Last year they had the Four Nations Championships, which they finished second in. And right now they're leading on day one of these European Championships. Fangman, oh, he scored a wonderful goal. Took the ball on halfway, just wriggled his way towards the right side of the area and unleashed a right-footed firecracker into the roof of Mark Alamachia's net. Celebrations absolutely fantastic with the rest of his teammates, but what a strike from the edge of the D. The Italians there couldn't stop him. Up towards the Turkish stopper, up towards the other end of the field it goes. A slight hesitation from the Belgian defence, and a third goal for Turkey in the process as Hasan Satay gets 2 quick-fire goals for the reigning European champions, who are certainly beginning to show exactly what they are made of now. A beautiful bit of control from Hasan Satay, managed to hold off David Dortu before turning on the outside onto his right foot on the angle and slammed one into the top right corner of Willian Sechi's net. It is Turkey 3, Belgium 0. Exquisite control, and how about that for an accurate finish?
To score more. Martin, lovely ball from the left-hand side inside his own half, picks out on the right, Alamar. He's got too many in front of him in the D. Goes past one. What a goal for Spain! The wonder kid Sergio Alamar moved the ball out of his feet. A right-footed shot from the edge of the D. Nestles in the top left-hand corner. The goalkeeper never moved. It's 5 for Spain.
Wonderful bit of control from Sergio Alamar, shifting it from the left foot onto the right foot, right-hand side of the area, and flat for Bashlashvili. Now he's on the edge of the France penalty area, trying to work a route towards the France goal. Good tackle coming in from Pedersen, who bursts now over the halfway line. The German defenders beginning to retreat. Pedersen going alone here, shot with the right foot. What a goal from Jerome Pedersen, who doubled France's lead right at the end of the first half. Germany at one end missing a penalty, and Jerome Pedersen bursts over the halfway line on the counter-attack to rub salt further into the German wound. A wonderful goal from him on the right side of the area. A low shot past Leitch and into the net.
Position number 6, Martin Barron. Now brought out by the tall Dan English down the right-hand side. Over the halfway, dribbles inside, past the broken line, edge of the D, into the back of the net. What a start for England, and what a start for Dan English. A cracking goal that started in his own half. He went over the halfway line, right-hand side, drifted into a central position, and then let fly from all of 10 metres. Goalkeeper with no chance, past his right-hand side in a blink of an eye. With his right foot, Dan English opens the scoring in style. It's England 1, France 0.
Just the start that John Pugh would have wanted from his England players. A tremendous finish.
Showing off his control down the right. Right-footed shot into the back of the net. What a goal for Spain. And their number 10 and captain, Youssef Al-Hadawi. A right-footed thunderbolt from the right-hand side of the attacking third. It's only taken just over a minute for Spain to go 1-up in his vital Group B clash here in Berlin at the IBSA Blind Football European Championships. 1-0 Spain.
Riviere now with possession on the left-hand side, just trying to turn back and face the goal edge of the attacking zone. Oh no, what a shot from distance from Gael Riviere out of absolutely nothing. Gives France the lead after 5.5 minutes in this crucial game for the French team. A wonderful strike with the right foot. The goalkeeper for Italy did not move a muscle, coming out of absolutely nowhere. And a super goal for Gael Riviere.
Now inside the centre circle, starts a mazy dribble down the left. He's beaten 2 players already, straight towards the edge of the D. Real chance here for Baron. Shoots into the back of the net and scores. Baron's equalised for France. A mazy dribble into the D from the halfway line. And this time Baron's got his shooting boots on. He finds the back of the net. It's the equaliser at the end of the first half of the second semi-final. It's Russia 1, France 1.
Colossal goal for France, who managed to gain parity right at the end.
Okay, once again, you can vote via Twitter. Use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball and then the number of the goal that you want. So hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball and maybe 8, for instance, if you want Martin Baron's goal to win that competition. So goal of the tournament. How about this? Maybe for save of the tournament.
Yeah, brilliant save in the first half by Malpass. Cat-like reactions, and when it came from behind Keren Seal, and it took me by surprise on commentary. It must have taken Malpass again by surprise, but that's his forte, reaction saves, and he's done well holding on to 1 in the first half. But yeah, I think he'll be called into action again in the second half.
Okay, so Pete is going to hot-foot it across the room over to the commentary box. The gold medal match is coming up at 7:30 tonight, and please do stay tuned in afterwards for the closing ceremony before the final second half of these two teams' performances in this championships. It's Jonathan Bell and Peter Selby.
Thank you very much, Alan. England on the right-hand side for the second half, kicking from right to left in their white shirts, white shorts and white socks against the French team, all in royal blue with black socks as well. And the referee's ready for the second half to begin, and Roy Turnham goes straight away from the halfway line, charges down the right hand side against Labar, and they both clatter into the kickboard. It was Turnham with the last touch, and the referee gives a French ball at the back for Royer to throw out towards the left hand side. Over halfway, Baron controls and then turns back into his own half and then goes back on the outside of Turnham, who's the nearest man to him. Baron charging down the left hand side. Turnham stops him in his tracks for now on the edge of the broken line. Baron then being forced back to the halfway line, plays a square ball from left to right. Williams intercepts though ahead of Areski and then comes over the halfway line, left hand side. Williams still charging away with the ball, goes into Labar. Labar then brings Williams down. The referee says get back up. Then 2 French players collide heads on the edge of the area. Williams then, unknown as to what was going on, then flies into the 2 of them who are still laid on the ground. It is Penisson and Labar holding heads on the edge of the penalty area. And France do have a doctor, Taljoun, on the bench, and Julien Zalala as the physio as well. Just Julien Zalala, though, being employed here, and they may need another pair of hands because Labar and Pennison still down. Labar looks worse off than Pennison, it has to be said, but Pennison is the one taking the treatment at the moment. Just like to see a replay of that one because Labar again, Pete, straight at the start of the second half, he is the man in the thick of the action.
Yes, he was on the ground and the England player ran into him as well, so he's got a double knock, and the England physio is on as well. Matt Jones, who we've had in the studio actually in these championships, he's onto the field looking after Laber, and there seems to be quite a lot of concern with the French number 8, and if you're watching the who's now lying down on his back, so I think this is more precautionary, and the England physio, yeah, holding his neck, and he's lying David Laber down on his back and keeping him still, and hopefully this is just a precaution. We had an incident early on in the tournament where Kurpatoglu for Turkey was in the same position, and he actually went off for an MRI scan in a neck brace and ended up playing in a future game. Off goes Pennison, who's part of our goal of the tournament highlight clip. And on comes Gael Riviere, who also is. So Riviere comes on for Pennison, but still on the ground is Laber. And like I said, he's talking, and if you're watching the live stream, you can see a replay now. So the 2 players were on the edge of their D. They collided heads. It was Laber with going head down, and it was Riviere who was rising with his head. and they were holding each other's head, and here comes Robin Williams, doesn't know they're on the floor, and he collides with the left shoulder of David Lebert. So I still think the initial collision of heads is the worst incident, and he's now sitting up, so hopefully everything will be okay. I think Matt Jones has managed to just give him a quick check over and make sure everything's fine. He's now left the field, Matt Jones, and also there's a few waves from them saying everything's fine, and the player is now on his feet. So he's going to be taken off.
Of course, we've had a lot of innocuous collisions over the course of the last 10 days, Pete, but that is certainly one of the worst. And one of the things you have to marvel about when you watch blind football is the fact that these players, completely unaware of what they're running into, just go at 100 miles an hour and they don't really care as to what happens, because they are just keen on getting the ball in the back of the net. But that time around, Lebert and Pennison there really locking horns inadvertently, and both of them have fared very poorly.
Well, I've said before and I'll say it again, the first thing you need to be to play blind football is you need to be very, very brave. And, well, just talking about this game, and that's a couple of players gone off, and at the moment France are down to 3 outfield players, and they play the ball downfield out of play for an English goal kick. So England shooting from right to left, darkening clouds above the stadium here in Berlin. Long ball forward towards Turnham, but Baron comes across and defends on the edge of his D, tries to bring it out for France, in fact just plays it downfield as if to say, look, give us a few minutes because we've only got the 3 players on the field, we're just going to kick the ball downfield and get it out of our half. It's going to be Malpass again, this time just drops the ball outside of his D for Kieran Seal. Seal, poke it forward, down the right, intercepted well by Baron. Now Baron can run from deep, he's inside his own half on the left, comes up to halfway, coming back is Roy Turnham and does very well, nicks the ball off Baron and starts a run down the right. Turnham past the broken line by the right kickboard, now stops, goes across the broken line to the left, plays it 10 yards to the feet of Williams. Williams now from a central position, edge of the D, well tackled by Baron, who can now again start to counter. The ball's momentarily stopped inside his third. Eventually he picks it up, beats Williams, who holds his head high in the air as if to say, I should have got that. But Baron once again skips away from Coleman. Baron, edge of the D, can't get a shot on goal, and eventually it goes wide of the near post. Good run by Baron, and remember, France are down to just the 3 outfield players.
Just like they were in the semi-final as well at the back end of that game against Russia. So France certainly haven't had lady luck on their side for many of these championships, as Williams comes in from the right-hand kickboard, tries to get in the area. All the outfield players for France, all 3 of them are back in their own area to clear away over halfway. Turnham battling with Coleman at the minute to win the ball back. Coleman eventually says, give it me, and he will slowly come away with possession. No one in a blue shirt inside the England half here, as Coleman comes down the centre. He's got 1 man up, which is Williams on the far right. Coleman then just gently taps the ball towards that far side, but it gives Erezki enough time to go across and win possession. He then loops the ball with the left foot over the halfway line and straight into the path of Coleman. Just currently witnessing on the bench at the moment the treatment still going on for Labar, as Coleman for England is in a central position in the centre circle inside the France half, attempts the ball to the left-hand side, deflects off Baron into the pass of Turnham, so that just slightly disrupts the pace of the England break here, and then Turnham plays it to the right, and Williams, as the winds begin to whip up here in Berlin, and I suspect the rain isn't too far away either. Williams plays the ball back for Turnham. England just slowly going about this here, and then Turnham accelerates on the right side of the area. Real chance block comes in for Erezki, and it goes out for a corner for England on the right-hand side. And Roy Turnham has the ability to just inject pace into a game of football in a matter of milliseconds.
Yeah, Baron on the live stream, lovely bit of skill turning away from Coleman in the centre circle. He's got all the tricks, has the number 6. He's had a rainbow kick as well, rainbow flare kick in the first half, and well, Lebert is going to be coming back onto the field, and he's going to come on to a rapturous reception as well, and the referee's just stopped play because of this, and on comes Lebert, and here's the reception. Wonderful round of applause from all corners of the stadium. So fantastic news there in I think a lot of credit goes to both benches and their medical teams. Williams with the corner from the right. Now in a central position, left-footed shot, well blocked by the defence. All of a sudden just burst past a couple with pace, and Labert quickly with the ball at his feet and goes up to the halfway, squares it over to the French number 7. And that's Gael Riviere, edge of the D on the right by the corner, pushed out by Coleman, the other number 7. But he's just trapped against the kickboard at the moment. The ball's not going anywhere. He goes to ground quite theatrically, actually, and I think the referee, yes, he's given a free kick to France, which is basically going to be a corner on the right. It's exactly in the D for where corners are placed. But I think it was a little bit dramatic there and a bit over the top, the dive from the French number 7. Well, there was a little push, but I think it was a bit of an overreaction.
To be fair to him, Pete, Dylan Malpass does go across to Brandon Coleman, foul or not. He just says that was needless, mate. You know, you didn't have to do that. Did have a little bit of a go at him there, but I'm not too sure about that decision overall from Gael Riviere to go to ground and then from the referee. But of course, we play on, and Riviere on the right side of the area just pokes it out of play, and I don't know if that's him sportingly just saying, look, I didn't deserve the free kick, have it back, Malpass.
I think a little bit of that, a little bit of, hang on, I've gone over too early there, and I was too easy, I'm just going to knock the ball out for a goal kick. Turnham on the right, goes to ground, no free kick, he's still got the ball in the final third by the kickboard. He's got 2 hands on the kickboard, quickly takes one off because the referee was just telling him to. You can't use 2 hands on the kickboard as leverage. Squares it to Williams on the left. Inside the French half, another collision, this time between Riviere and Williams. Williams is much the taller of the two, and it looked like it hit him square in the mouth. He's just holding the back of his neck, actually, the England number 6. Yeah, another clash, and it's definitely the England player who came off worse. Riviere came over to shake hands with Williams, who's just going to trot back to defence and say, I'm going to stand on the edge of my D for 5 minutes just to gather my thoughts and my senses. But yes, it was an awkward collision there. Give the nod to the bench that he's okay, so he's going to carry on. Robin Williams, it's going to take more than that for him to go off the field. England with a free kick, a yard inside the French half on the left, the near left from our position. It's going to be Coleman standing with Seal. Coleman goes towards the centre, in the centre circle, stops, now plays it down the right. Unfortunately for him, Roy Turnham had moved to the centre. The ball takes a wicked deflection towards Turnham, but into the goalkeeper's hands. And it was nearly a real fortunate piece of play there for England. Long throw by the keeper goes out of play for an England restart, but it took an awkward bounce and span towards Turnham, but he'd already started his run over to the far right-hand side and didn't realise it was coming his way. Malpass is just being spoken to by the referee. I'm not entirely sure what the problem with Malpass was there. Long underarm throw downfield, rolls it towards Turnham. It comes off a French boot and goes out for a corner. And it was heading towards Roy Turnham, who was on his own inside the D. So a good spot there by Dylan Malpass, and the referee has given a goal kick. And there's laughter on the English bench because that was very obvious that it came off a French boot. I'm not entirely sure whether the referees caught up with that, but never mind, we'll let them off that one. It's with France in their own third, and that's going to run out for a French goal kick definitely this time. Never mind. Julien Royer drops the ball outside of his D on the right for the number 10. He switches to the left from his right-back position, over halfway, intercepted by Roy Turnham, and Williams is with Turnham, gets out of his way. Turnham goes down the left, over the broken line, towards the centre, goes to ground, nothing given, no foul really on Roy Turnham, and that ball is cleared through to Malpass. Yeah, it was a good handoff, as you would say, by Labert on Turnham. Good throw by Malpass, finds Williams, who screams out because he can't control the ball, and it goes through to Royer once again.
Yeah, a bit of a lull in the game at the moment. 25 minutes gone, 1-0 to England. Barron coming in from the left kickboard on the edge of the attacking zone, then goes on the outside all the way to the area, and he just couldn't quite get the strike away with the left foot, and out it goes for an England ball, and Malpass will just gently throw it, should I say, to the right side of his area, and then Seal completely miscontrols it, and it goes out for a France corner, and that is such a cheap bit of play from England there. Malpas just giving it to Seal, who must have been 2 yards away from his byline. The first touch was with his left foot, which was closest towards the byline. Hit his foot, went out for a corner, and England will make a double substitution here. On for the first time in this game is Darren Harris, who will come on for Roy Turnham, and a second change to be made as well. Being sacrificed this time around is Robin Williams, to be replaced by fellow joint captain Dan English, but his first task here will be to defend this corner for France, and if England concede from this, then it will certainly compound what has been about 30 seconds for them. Said there was a lull in the game and a slight lapse in concentration from Malpas and Seal, conceding this set piece on the far side, the France left. France have everyone up inside the final third at the moment, which is a bit of a rare sight. And Barron coming from the left side, arcs around the penalty area, then he's forced into the neutral zone, plays it square for Lebert, who manages to hear the ball and be receptive to it, comes towards the kickboard on the near side, on the broken line. He's got English in his back, nutmegs English, but then can't get past the big England number 5, and the referee's actually going to give an indirect free kick against English there for holding on to the boards and not allowing Lebert to run past him.
Yeah, he had 2 hands on the kickboard and then backed into the player. So a good spot there by the referee. It's going to go down as a personal foul. John Pugh, the England coach, looking on, just not too happy at the moment. A wry shake of his head. So that's going to be a personal foul against Dan English.
And again, stay there. If you want the ball, no, Karen, it's going to go your side, right foot. Together.
Although the signal, it's actually gone down as a second team foul, so it's for holding rather than having 2 hands on the actual kickboard. So it's a foul and a team foul against England. That's the second for holding, although he had his back to the French player. So whether he put his arm around him at the start and then put 2 hands on the kickboard, well, anyway, free kick to France. Yard in from the kickboard, 10 metres from goal on the right. 3 men in the wall. Riviere pokes it towards goal into the England wall. They do their job at the halfway line. And Arzeki, who can't get the ball under control, but Karen Seal can, and he knocks it downfield. There's no one there for England, so it's going to be a goal kick. But yeah, interesting decision there, John. I think went out for a goal kick, but yeah, personal foul and team foul given against England, and well, a number of decisions in the last couple of seconds that's either fooled us or perplexed us. Anyway, back with the action, and Riviere down the left. Barron goes to ground, nothing given. Again, a bit of a theatrical jump to the floor, and again England just knock it downfield, and again it goes out for a goal kick. England at the moment haven't got anyone in the French half, and they're just defending their lines at the moment. Royer drops it out of his penalty D to Arzeki. Forward comes Coleman, a bit of pressure eventually by England on that French line, but Barron loses out to English, who starts his run down the right kickboard. Again, 1 hand on that kickboard, that's fine, but when he puts 2, that's where the problems may arise. Barron comes across, tries to tackle English in the centre circle. English pushes past him, now tries to go past Riviere, can't, and it's a poked tackle with the outside of his right foot by Labert. And it's taken up by English once again on the halfway by the right-hand kickboard. He's got Coleman square to his left. He tries to drag back away from Barron, and Barron manages to get a foot in, but English battles back. It's very, very scrappy, and he's up to the final third, and that's a foul on English by Labert. Came in with a strong right-footed challenge. It was his wrong foot really to do it with, and he topples the big number 5 for England, who goes away limping, and it's going to be an English free kick on the broken line on the right after a scrappy few minutes.
Yeah, scrappy certainly the key word here at the moment, Pete, and we've just heard words from the sideline as well on the far side that John Pugh, the England coach, is just telling his players to get the ball down and play some football. But England will have a free kick here, and the French wall, I have to say, is very far back indeed. They're on the edge of their own penalty area, despite the fact this free kick is not even past the broken line. It's on the right-hand side, and Coleman is stood behind Seal. And Seal will run with the ball, goes onto his left foot, central position, comes all the way now towards the left-hand side, stands on the ball with his right foot, the ball pops up into the air, and then it's Riviere on the near side, pressed up to the kick ball, facing his own goal. Good tackle coming in from Seal on the left-hand side, then turns away from Riviere. He's got a cluster of blue shirts in front of him, gets through them all and hits the post. A low left-footed strike from the left side of the area, went through a couple of bodies, and then it just hit the foot of the far post and came back out again. It's Royer throwing the ball towards the left-hand side. It's Barron going down under a challenge from Coleman. The referee tells him to get up again on the edge of the area. Coleman tries to come away with the ball, but Barron recovers well. And then the ball last comes off Coleman, and it will be a French corner on the far side, the left. But England very close a couple of moments ago to doubling their lead. And Karen Seal, of course, the man who missed the penalty against Spain that knocked England out of the competition, would have gone a little bit of a way to sort of retrieving the scenario for him, personally. If he put that in the back of the net, a very good left-footed effort. Went through a couple of bodies and hit the bottom of the upright. But it's a corner for France, far side there left.
Yeah, a really good effort that was by Seal to get into a position to shoot, and unlucky for him and for England, and it came off the foot of the post. Terrible corner routine for France. Passes it straight to Dan English. Two French players collide with each other, and English goes down the right into the final 30, struggling to get the ball under control. Eventually does. Now he's going to try and back into Barron and turn and shoot from an angle. Goes wide of the near post, and good play there by Dan English. Managed to get a shot from that right kickboard. Again, two French players were in front of him, fell over each other, and it left a gaping hole in their defence, and Dan English took advantage, but his shot was off target. Long clearance by France downfield, too much on that again, and that will run out with 12 minutes remaining. England leading by 1-0 in its third place playoff game, and a timeout has been called by England. So whether those instructions that we heard were being mentioned for England just to play some football are going to be echoed to the side by John Pugh and his coaching staff, but Karen Seal nearly sealing the tie for England with an amazing dribble and a left-footed shot. Little power, but wide of the goalkeeper, who very, very calmly picked the ball up after it bounced off the post and into his hands. There's John Pugh giving some instructions. You can see in the background the ruins of an old railway station. And if it was still here, we'll be actually on the lines of the railway, and it makes for a lovely amphitheatre, this stadium here. With at the other end of the stadium, there's a concert venue as well. Right in the centre of Berlin we are for this IBSA Blind Football European Championships. We've got the final at 7:30 local time between Spain and Russia, the two semi-finals. Well, you couldn't have more dramatic semi-finals if you tried. Both with 2-2, both went to penalties, both with controversy and also high drama in the dying seconds. And England actually beat France by 7-0 in the group stages. Finding it tougher here, France performed very well against Russia in the semi-final. Very unfortunate not to win. And they've really transformed themselves after that defeat from England. They also drew against Romania. And skies are darkening above the stadium. Maybe a little ray of sunshine away to our left where the weather's coming from. Fingers crossed it stays nice. There was a threat of rain, but the last weather forecast I saw looked like it was going to be okay, and I think we might be all right. And fingers crossed for the final, the first game of this championship. We had to be brought back the next day because of a torrential thunderstorm, unbelievable conditions, and everyone ran for cover. On the far side, if you're watching the live stream, you can see the medals there. Everyone gets a participation medal, but the winners of this game will get the much prized third place bronze medals. Coleman's just having his eyewear and a patch actually put over his left eye. I think he's taken a bit of a blow to the face there, and he's now going to have his blindfold put on.
One thing I have wondered during these championships, Pete, is it must get quite sweaty under those blindfolds, and I think that has actually occurred there with Brandon Coleman, who's gone across, and maybe there was too much friction underneath the eyewear due to the sweat, and he's had to replace it now.
Yeah, a lot of tape going on there. He's obviously had a problem there, and he's an awful lot of tape applied, and he's got a brand new really thick bit of tissue actually has been placed on top of a plaster, so he's obviously got a bit of a problem there where he's had to have a plaster put on, then he's had tape put on top of that plaster, and now he's got his eye patch, and now he's got his blindfold on as well. So plenty of padding over the left eye of Brandon Coleman. Played out to English on the halfway line. Now on the right, he goes into the final third. Again, loses control of the ball, runs into Barron, but out for a goal kick to Royer.
Who will bowl it out down the centre, a forceful one as well, and Seal just lets that roll through to his goalkeeper, Dylan Milpas, who throws the ball to the right, and English midway inside his own half, right hand side, plays it towards the left in the halfway line, still runs onto it with Labar, but it's actually Rezki who gets the final touch on the ball to put it into the centre circle. Riviere not quite on the same wavelength there as Rezki, but he still manages to pick up possession on the left hand side. Seal right in front of him, tussling in front of the England bench at the moment, and Riviere facing his own halfway line at the moment, has Harris behind him, Seal in front of him, and then Seal goes for a kick at the ankles of Riviere to try and win the ball, and then Riviere just gets past Seal and English, but there was too much pace on it, and goes through to Dylan Milpas. Not been the most inspiring second half that we've had at the European Championships, that's for sure, and the weather's not been the best too. Can we have a goal to warm us up here? Coleman going over the right-hand side halfway line, just sort of stands on the ball a little bit, and it's not been a game of much quality. Lebert shepherds in front of Coleman on the edge of the penalty area, and then Coleman just throws Lebert to the ground as the ball leaves both of them due to Rezki charging over the halfway line. The referee then has given a free kick for England, and I think that's because of a call of no void from Rezki, and certainly the French coach, Samiat Gassama, wasn't too pleased about that, and the referee is just indicating to the technical tent on the far side that it is a call, or an absent call of void. That means it will be a 13th foul of the game for France. Of course, England only on 2 in this match so far, and we are halfway through the second period. England still leading by that Roy Turnham goal to 0. England free kick right to the centre circle inside their own half. Seal rolls it down the right channel, goes past Barron. Rezki manages to control it with 2 feet on the left edge of his area, then comes together with Barron. That meant Rezki lost control of the ball, and he's really annoyed there with Barron for colliding with him, because he inadvertently runs it behind, and it will be a corner on the far side for England, their right. So Harris and Coleman go across to take as the rain begins to trickle down here in Berlin. So Coleman stood behind Harris. Harris tasked with trying to curve around the area, does so as well, tries to get the left foot shot away and get his first goal of the tournament, but Lebert sticks a big right foot in there, and now Barron charges down the left-hand side, coming into a central position. Barron on that mazy run goes for a right-footed shot, saved at the near post by Dylan Malpass with 2 hands pretty comfortably, and he will now let the England defence reset and then bowl it out for Dan English, should I say, just outside of his penalty area, chips it down the right flank of the area. Harris tries to get across to it, does really well as well on the byline. Harris then goes onto the left foot in the area, real chance, tries to turn back on the right, did a bit too much, and Rezki bulldozes his way forward towards the halfway line. England have everyone back inside their own half. Rezki well challenged from behind by Seal, who tries to marauder forward with the ball. Rezki still keeping him company as they come towards the near side of the left. Seal then facing halfway, goes back into his own half, and then plays the ball towards the far side. Barron just gets a fortunate touch on the ball there to deny it from running behind him to Harris, who would have been in on the right-hand side, but Barron wins possession on the halfway line, then plays it towards the left, but then Harris this time is the man blocking the ball. Tries to get down the right-hand side. Barron's with him all the way. Barron almost tripped under the challenge of Harris there, and Barron keeps possession, coming towards the halfway line, left of centre, slows things down a little bit. Only 1 man up, and that is Rezki. Finds him on the right-hand side. In fact, it's Riviere. Riviere trying to get down the right. He's in the attacking zone. He's got 3 white shirts in and around him, as Rezki is trying to get on the scene as well. Coleman goes down under a challenge. The referee has to touch the ball to make it active again because it didn't make a rattle for a moment. Seal responds and then switches it towards the far side. Harris gets there ahead of Arezki. Harris up alone with 3 blue shirts around him, collides into Baron as he tried to get the left-footed shot away. Baron wins possession, comes towards the near side, the right, midway inside his own half. Still just the one man up for France in the England half at the moment, which is Riviere, as Baron looks to do it himself, goes down the left-hand side, over halfway. Again, he's too fast for the ball. That's happened quite a lot on both sides so far in this second period. Harris gets back and wins the ball for England, tries to toe peg it away, it collides off the knee pads of Baron, who looks like a BMX biker with the elbow pads, the gloves, he's got the knee pads as well. The ball comes across to the near side and it's Riviere battling away with English. Lebert comes onto the scene as well on the halfway line. English tries to steamroll through both of them, gets to the left hand side of the area. English still going as he goes towards the byline, gets the last contact on the ball, but it goes out for a France ball. As the rain gets heavier, the goals certainly aren't getting more thick and fast, and it goes out from one end with one goalkeeper all the way to the other, to our right, and Dylan Milpas in that black shirt with purple long sleeves, black shorts, white knee pads and black socks, bowls it out towards the left hand side over halfway, and Brandon Coleman coming inside from the left kickboard, then stabs it down the right hand side, comes off the elbow of Harris, but the referee says it was accidental. Harris has the ball next to the kickboard, coming towards the broken line, plays it left footed across towards the near side again, and Coleman has to retrieve the ball just over the halfway line and then plays it back out to the right, and Harris. Good 1-2's being played between these two at the moment. Harris dawdled on the ball a bit there, then was clashed into by Baron just short of the broken line, and that will be a team foul against France due to, again, no call of void from Baron as he just charged into the much shorter Darren Harris, who had his head down trying to locate the ball next to his feet. Baron just motored into him, pushed him over, and it will be an England free kick just right of centre, and standing over the ball is Harris and Seal. A double substitution to be made from England first, however. Leaving the field will be Darren Harris and also Dan English as well. They will be replaced by Roy Turnham and Robin Williams, and England have so many great players, Pete, you just wish they could all play together at the same time, but of course 5-a-side, that's not the rules.
Yeah, the Pete Selby weather report is the fact that it's going to be very bright in the next few minutes. So if you're listening to this audio description commentary in the stand, then don't worry, it will be brightening up very soon. Away to our left, the sun is coming out. And the sun is also shining on England at the moment. They are winning by 1-0 with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left of this third place playoff game. It's going to be a free kick to England, a yard outside of the broken line in the attacking third. It's going to be Williams, strike from distance straight into the chest of the goalkeeper, who holds on well. Good strike there by Williams. As now the sun bathes the stadium, and plenty of the crowd enjoying this game and also then waiting for the final at 7:30. Long ball forward goes out for a goal kick, and that will be taken by Dylan Malpas. Malpas underarm throw down the left to try and find the England number 7 Coleman, who stops on halfway, switches over to the right where both Williams and Turnham are. Neither of them actually go for the ball and win it and stop it from going out of play. And it's going to be Royer again, a bit more hurried now in his throw, long downfield, trying to pick out French teammate number 7 Riviere, and Riviere didn't make contact with the ball, and again it runs out for Malpas. And Malpas has options down the left, and he tries to find Turnham and also Coleman. That's going to run through to Coleman deep inside the French final third. Can't stop it from going out of play, and the goalkeepers at the moment are having more of the ball than the outfield players. Long throw downfield again by France. Try and find Riviere. Controls in the D, turns. Good stop by the keeper. Comes out. Now he's stopped out again with his hand. He was awfully close from being outside of his goalkeeping square. But the referee's there, and it's now downfield with Coleman and also Turnham, who's inside the final third. Goes back to the halfway line. He's being pushed away by Baron. Actually pushed to the ground now by Baron inside the centre circle. Free kick given to England, and it will be another team foul for France, and that will be the 5th team foul of this half for the French, and another foul for Baron. England will have a free kick inside their own half, central position. So 5 team fouls for France, any more and it will be an 8-metre penalty kick for England. But yeah, interesting few moments there. It was a long throw downfield, and Riviere managed to control the ball, only 3 or 4 yards from goal, turned, and the first shot was blocked by Malpass, but the second, we've got a replay now on the live stream, the first shot from point-blank range as Turnham goes down the right-hand side, inside the broken line now, back to a more central position, and Turnham down the left, edge of the D, can't get a clean shot on from goal, and it goes into the goalkeeper's hands. I still think that second save by Malpass was very close from being out of the square, and if I had my hat on being on the line or outside, I would go with outside. My first opportunity, I thought it was outside the square. Hopefully we'll get another replay. It's with Williams, central position again inside the French half, pushed away by Labert, who's back to full fitness, if not probably a bit sore on the head after a collision early on in his second half. France, remember, on 5 personal fouls, 5 team fouls, should I say. Baron goes down the left, runs straight into Coleman. He's not happy with the referee. No decision given. The referee waves play on. England have the ball by their own corner, right corner that is, and it is Seal outside of his D now. 3 men back for England, including Turnham. Chips it down the left. There's no one there for England in a white shirt, and it means that French will go back inside their own half and gather the ball once again. Poor ball though by Riviere to the left over the halfway line. It's with Turnham. Turnham goes past Baron now, running at pace to defence. On the right, Turnham into the D, shoots wide of the left-hand post. It was nearer the corner than it was the left-hand post. Just didn't get it on target after another mazy dribble and showing his pace as well. Long throw down by Royer. Intercepted by Seal. He goes now over the halfway line. He stops though just inside the centre circle. Turnham is on the right. He tries to find Turnham, does so by the kickboard inside the final third again. Turnham by the byline. Can't stop that from rolling out of play, and it's in the hands of Royer.
Oh, I'm glad to say the sun is indeed back out. I think that's the best prediction you've made all week, Pete. Seal on the left-hand side, coming over the halfway line. He's got Turnham up alongside him, decides to go alone down the left-hand side, left-footed shot into the far corner of the net, and surely Karen Seal has managed to claim England's hands on the bronze medal trophy in this championships now. A great break over halfway, had all the French players travelling in his wake, and he had a left-footed strike low. It fizzed into that far corner of the net. Of course, he hit the post from similar range, Karen Seal, a few moments ago. This time he has managed to find the bottom left corner of Julian Royer's net, and England lead by 2-0. I'm not going to say surely they've won it now, but of course 5 minutes to go. We've been here before, haven't we, Pete?
Yes, we have. We have been here, and although with 5 minutes to go, or just less than that, you'd fancy England from here. France with those 5 team fouls, of course, remember. But if anyone's going to do anything about it, it's going to be Baron on the broken line for France. Turns away from the English defence. That runs through for a goal kick, and he just got his eyewear actually knocked away, and that stopped his run because he had to correct that. His first instance was to stop his run, and I think if he carried on, it could have been very dangerous. Play by Turnham on the left. Plays it across the broken line to try and find Williams by the right corner once again. But he's 2 hands on the kickboard, and again he's got his right hand on it now, trying to hold off the attention of Labert. Williams, it's rolling down the time. There's less than 4 minutes remaining now, and it's just cleared by Labert. Up towards halfway, across comes Roy Turnham, picks it up, edge of the D, central position, shot was well blocked by the defender. Labert was back, and if it didn't touch Labert's ankle, it would have been in the back of the net. It's with Turnham again. He battles back and wins it off Baron's toes on the edge of the D. Down the left to go, he's got 3 men with him, tries to turn past the first one, does so, and the second shot well saved by Royer, the keeper, from point blank range, but lovely play by Turnham, managed him to tackle back and winning the ball inside the D, and managed to get a shot off as well. The ball's cleared down into the English half, and it's number 6 Dan Robin Williams just pushing it over halfway, and there's 3 minutes to go. And if France are going to get back into this game, they're going to have to get back pretty soon.
Labert just clearing it from the edge of his goal area towards the near side. The France right, midway inside his own half, collides into Roy Turnham. Turnham's currently on the ground trying to hold the ball under his legs at the moment. Turnham does a very good job if he manages to keep that there. All 4s he was on, and then someone loses their headwear. I think it may have been a trainer as well. It was a headwear, and Labert once again is down, and this might be the final time that David Labert contributes to this game and the tournament as a whole as well. He's battered along all the way through this match, and that might be the knockout blow. Substitution coming up soon for England as well, but for now the physio of France is coming onto the field, Julian Zalala, just to give Lebert a bit of treatment. And once again, it's the nose that he is holding. And I think it may be his final moment on a pitch in this game. So England will be making the substitution. Brandon Coleman coming off to replace by Nathan Edge, and Nathan Edge will be happy if he's heard the news that his boyhood club Mansfield Town have managed to beat Luton today. So maybe that'll spur him on to try and get a goal for himself. It would be his first in these championships. And he just, in a minute, goes to the anchor of the England 4, stood outside the edge of his own box. But the main concern is for Lebert on the near side on the halfway line. Currently, the French guide, Manuel Morgado, has come from his post behind the goal to go towards Lebert. And the physio, Julian Zalala, will assist him off the field towards the gate on the far side on halfway. And that will be David Lebert's final contribution to this tournament. Very hard-working midfield player, always likes to bustle about and try and compete. However, that will be his last moment in the game. Of course, he had to come back on because France only had 3 players, and they will end the game with 3 outfield players as well, will France, because currently at the moment they have a man on the bench, Jerome Pennison, who has got a cold flannel on his left side of his head. Ivan Yuanji is injured. Fabrice Morgado injured his ankle. So France will end this game and end their tournament with just the 4 players in total, including their goalkeeper, as they call for the timeout. England, on the other hand, will have a full complement to close out this competition, and they have to be fond of the efforts they've put into this. Whatever happens in this game, England surely will hold on now for the 2-0 success. But you have to feel, Pete, it's been a case where they haven't really been able to maximise the potential they showed in the group stage. It feels a bit like a nail in the balloon, if you like, because they could and they probably should have been in the final.
A nail in the balloon. I'll use that one. Yes, well, I'll try and get a word with a number of the players actually on the field after the game has finished. At the moment, I've got my targets on Dylan Malpass. I'll try and have a word with Roy Turnham as well, and that's going to be one of the questions I'll ask him. I'll ask him about the game today, but also, yeah, you finished 3rd. Congratulations, obviously you finished 3rd, but during the tournament and during the group stages, would 3rd have been enough really after finishing the group stages, not conceding the goal, scoring 22? It's just maybe a case of what could have happened for both of these sides as well, because France, you have to remember, they were in a penalty shootout to get through to the final. So they'll be disappointed they're not there as well. So we'll find out what will happen at the end of the game anyway, so make sure you stick around if you're watching the live stream, and of course that final at 7:30 local time. It's going to be a French free kick on the halfway line, a couple of yards in from the right kickboard in front of our commentary position. Riviere scoops it high over to the left, and Baron, who's got about 20 yards further forward, has to come back to halfway. Picks it up. Thought he was going to actually try and do a bit of a rainbow flick then. I think that's what he was trying to do. Just got the ball stuck under his feet. Now he has a mazy dribble down the left, push to ground, free kick for France. And it will be a free kick outside of the D by about 2 or 3 yards, so 8 metres from goal, and about 3 metres in from the left kickboard after, again, another run by Baron. This time he was more direct. Yes, it was slightly to the left, but he was more direct in his run in towards the D. And that's maybe what's lacked on Riviere as the Russian side make their way into the stadium for their get ready for their final in a few hours' time, or around about an hour's time actually. So France with a free kick from 8 metres. All 4 England players in a wall, covering the near post. Malpass with 2 hands on his knees. Now he's back in his own goal, waiting for the French coach just to tap the posts. Plenty of spectators actually outside the stadium who will be looking to get in for the final. Shot is well blocked by Seal actually, right from the point of impact. He basically flew out of the wall to try and close it down from the point of impact, and did very well indeed. It's over with the right, and Robin Williams on the halfway line exactly, goes past Riviere, has to just go back and get possession of the ball. Now he's inside his own half, coming towards a central position, over on the left, mazy dribble by Robin Williams, left hand side of the D, just gets pushed off the ball, and that will run out for an England corner, and with 2 minutes to go, the ball is exactly where England need it.
Absolutely. Hopefully for England they will not concede two in the last few minutes like they did in the semi-finals, but of course you never know what's around the corner. France, of course, depleted at the moment with just the 4 outfield players, and they're all back defending this inside their penalty area. As Turnham comes around on the left corner of the area, shot is well saved by Royer by his legs, and it goes back towards the halfway line. And Riviere trying to break away towards the edge of the England box. I think that shot deflected off edge there. It did as well, and it will be a corner for France on the left-hand side. So England on 14 fouls at the moment, France on 5. France conceded another team foul, then it will be an 8-metre penalty for England. John Pugh seems in jovial spirits on the far side at the moment. And France have the corner with Riviere laying it off for Baron. Baron will stop the ball on the left-hand side, come towards the edge of the penalty. A really good run from Baron. Shot comes in, he completely missed the ball. It rolls across to the right corner of the area, tries to get a shot away the second time. Williams was across. They're both in the corner now, battling away for possession, and it was Baron who got the final touch. So Malpas will bowl it out of his area with the left hand towards the far side. Goes past everyone in a blue shirt. Turnham then gets the first touch, goes back towards the halfway line and collides into the retreating Riviere. And Turnham still battling away for possession. Riviere just shanks his clearance towards the near side. Baron, he now meets the presence of Turnham, and Turnham tries to go around the outside of Baron, gets inside the area, stands on the ball, however, on the left side of the area. No one's managed to locate it because the ball is currently still, and then Baron comes out with possession from his penalty area, comes towards the halfway line, rides the challenge of Williams, goes towards the left side of the England half, goes down under a challenge from Kerin Seal, and it will be a 15th foul of the game for England. So both sides will be on their final warning as team fouls go. And France, with 62 seconds to go, will have a set piece just over the broken line and ever so slightly left of centre. So that is Kerin Seal's 14th foul of the game, and if Seal concedes another personal foul, then he'll be off the pitch and will have to be replaced by one of the England substitutes. Of course, France don't have that luxury with 3 or 4 players currently on the bench for them injured. And the red flags are up in the technical tent, signifying that both teams are on their final warning. So a free kick just left of centre for France then. England have a 3-man wall on the edge of the area with Turnham up at the other end. So it will be Riviere to lay this off for Arezki. The post being tapped behind the goal, perhaps for the final time in France's competition, by Manuel Magado. And Arezki will strike this right-footed, completely missed his kick, and it will fizz out off the kickboard on the near side and out for an England ball. Malpas rolls it towards the halfway line, bounces a couple of times and then gets to Roy Turnham on the left, goes back towards the broken line. There's 3 defenders in front of him, he goes round 2 of them. Arezki's the last one of them. He gets a touch on the ball, but it does cannon off Turnham last and out for a France ball. And Julien Roy will throw this from the back, gently out to the right, and Baron. Turnham comes across, Turnham eager for a second goal in this game for him and an England third. The ball goes back towards Seal on the left corner of his own goal area. He slowly comes forward with it, he's shouting for Roy, he wants to know where he is, and then plonks it down the centre of the field, goes past Arezki, can Turnham respond? He's trying to get round the back of him, and it just trickles into the goalkeeper's goal area, and Roy gets 2 hands on it, bowls it towards the right hand side, and Baron goes over the halfway line, cuts in from the right, then collides into Seal. A heavy collision on the edge of the broken line. Williams now going over the right hand side, over halfway, 2 French players to beat. One of them is Riviere. Riviere comes out on top into the centre circle, just right of centre, and then England have everyone back inside their own half for the final couple of seconds of this match. And at the end of these championships, England will finish 3rd, France will finish 4th. They've been through this all the way, have England and France, both qualifying out of Group A, and both suffering heartache in the semi-finals on penalties after 2-2 draws. For England, that was against Spain when they conceded just 12 seconds from the end, and for France, that was against Russia. And of course, there was controversy in the penalty shootout for Russia against France as well. France perhaps feeling hard done by from the winning kick from Alexei Loktionov, the Russian captain. But nonetheless, this game has finished. These two sides' championships have finished, and both sets of players can applaud the loyal French and English faithfuls on the near side in particular, on what has been a case of what if for England and France. Full-time score here, England 2, France 0. Roy Turnham's goal after 14 minutes set England off, and then Seal, 4 minutes from time, managed to seal England's third place finish in these championships. And we can now go down to the pitch side with Pete Selby, as with Dylan Malpass and Roy Turnham.
Goalkeeper Dylan Malpass and number 9 for England, Roy Turnham. Obviously, it's not the game that you want to be playing today. You want to be playing in an hour's time. But still, congratulations on finishing third.
I think it was a big test of character for us coming back from such a tough game on Thursday and a really hard to digest result. But I think it's a test for us that we passed today. We showed great heart, worked really hard against a French team that were determined to defend against us and not let us have the same amount of opportunities as we had in the group stages.
Dylan, what was said between the players and the coaching staff after what happened in the semi-finals, and how did you get yourself up for today's game?
Yeah, I mean, after the disappointment of 2015, I know we didn't have another tournament for another year. We know we're through to the World Cup, and we're going to build, and we said it's our game, and we're going to build from this moment now until the World Cup to go and show the world scene what England, blind football, are all about, and how hard that we work day in, day out.
And both of you, a quick word for people back home. Over 1 million people have watched your games, over 1 million people have viewed you throughout this tournament. Plenty of support from back home, and the sport of blind football is really going places.
It's really fantastic just to get the sport on the map, because it is, as you can see from a lot of the comments on there, it's an incredibly entertaining sport. I think people are starting to respect, you know, how professional blind football has become and what great athletes there are in the sport. And also just a huge thank you for all the people who came out to watch us as well, all family and friends, and just all the spectators. You know, it means so much to us, and every result that we've got, we've tried to do it for you.
Dylan Malpass and Roy Turnham, go and get your bronze medal, boys.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, wasn't that fantastic there? It was, well, it is a fantastic result for England to come third, but they would have wanted to have come in top spot. Let's have a look at these replays. So it is 2 goals for England in this one. Not quite the emphatic victory they got over the French team in the group stages. The players getting themselves ready on the pitch. So there you see the teams out on the field, and we'll hand over once more to our commentator, Jonathan Bell.
Thank you, Alan. Both sets of players are stood either side of the halfway line, and there's Roy's mum Sue on the left of your screen, and Roy's dad Anthony as well. Sue on the left, utilising the audio description service inside the venue, not just today but over the course of the last 10 days as well. And in fact, she's tuning in again now. Hello, Sue. Give us a wave. There we go. So, of course, Roy Turnham, the man on the score sheet today for England, not for the first time in these championships as well. And it was great to hear from Roy Turnham about the importance of not just the support from here in Berlin, but the support back home as well. Over 1 million people have been listening and watching these championships. And of course, with a keen eye on England as well. They've finished third, a place higher than 2015, and they've qualified for the World Cup in Madrid as well. France in fourth do the same. They will be booking their flights from Paris to Madrid for June, and for now they'll be receiving their participation medals. Martin Baron receiving his. He scored one of the goals of the tournament, and he has a very unique style as well, with the blue elbow pads and the blue knee pads and the black biker gloves too. And that goal in the semi-final against Russia, certainly for me, was one of my highlights of these championships. David Labar receiving his now as well. A man who never shows much emotion, it has to be said, David Labar, but he's been through the battles once or twice over the course of today's game. He went off once, we thought that'd be the end of his tournament, but because France were down a player, he resolutely came back on again to make sure that Le Bleu could complete the game with a full complement. And a couple of the injured crew as well on the end for France, with Fabrice Morgado, the son of this man, receiving his medal now, the guide behind the goal, Manuel Morgado, and Ivan Mouangi has also got crutches too. So the last couple of French members of staff receiving their medals now, the last of whom will be Samir Gassama, and I hope he will be back at the World Cup in 2018. Of course, France with so much heritage in blind football after their silver medal in the 2012 Paralympic Games in London, and three-time European champions as well. There is a lot of expectation back home, but they've certainly done their team proud in what was a tough group with England and Germany and Italy as well. They managed to progress with England to this stage of the competition, and now it's time for the three lions of England to collect their third place medal, the bronze medal. The first man to receive is Dylan Malpass, who's only played in a couple of games in a starting role for John Pugh's side, but he's made some super saves in the process. His game against Germany the other day was absolutely sensational in the final group match in that 3-0 victory. He made a good save as well from David Labar in this match as well in the first half, to go down low to his right and divert the ball away. Kieran Seal, the number 4, receiving his medal now as well. He scored the second goal for England today. Contrasting emotions for him after missing the vital penalty against Spain in the semi-final. Dan English, what a roller coaster of emotions as well he will have experienced in the past few days. He was the man who conceded the goal with 12 seconds to go against Spain. Roy Turnham receiving his now as well. What a tournament he's had. Certainly one of my players of the tournament, Roy Turnham. He's enlightened these championships with these mazy dribbles from out wide, and the way he manages to get in between defenders and strike it so hard as well. He's so impressive, and he was spot on in saying that you have to be a true athlete to be able to compete in the world of blind football, and he certainly is one of them there, Roy Turnham. Dan James also receiving his bronze medal now as well, the tallest of the England players, and I think the dignitary there had a bit of a struggle to try and get over the head of Dan James and put that medal over his neck. Also receiving their medals now as well. They play a crucial role in the England setup. Adam Bendel, the guide. John Pugh, of course, the coach. Tony Larkin, technical assistant. Pete Thompson, team doctor. Matt Jones as well, physiotherapist. All receiving their bronze medals right now. And England very much deserving their warm applause coming through from the crowd, not just, of course, the England faithful, but those of a French persuasion, those who are maybe here for the next game as well, early applauding the England team. And of course, England, so much disappointment in the home championships in 2014, not being able to win it on home turf in Hereford. They finished 4th that time. They lost on penalties in this 3rd-4th playoff then. They've won this one in normal time 2 years later and secure their bronze medal.
Tickets für das Finale haben, sind natürlich herzlich willkommen. Alle anderen Zuschauer bitten wir entsprechend das Stadion jetzt zu verlassen, da es...
So it's England then with the bronze medals around their necks. Just a reminder, if you do want to watch England lift the bronze medal trophy, the reason not doing it now is because Alan's got his hands on it, but at the end of the final tonight between Spain and Russia, Robin Williams and Dan English, the England joint captains, will be getting their hands on the bronze medal trophy. But for now, it is England finishing third, France in fourth, England 2, France 0.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Yes, indeed, before people who deserve to have their hand on this trophy get it, I have indeed got it in the studio with me. It's been on our desk for the last couple of days. We've got the winner and the runners-up trophy as well in here, as the fair play, the best player and the top scorers trophies are all in the studio with us for now, but they will all be decided very, very soon. The coaches going along the line as well. Let's not forget the unsung heroes of all of these teams. It's noisy here, and it is an appreciative crowd who have seen the third place match. England have come out on top. The final is the next thing we'll bring to you, but for now, goodbye.